So we're going to do some quick announcements with some upcoming events. Pro coaching 1 to 2 every Tuesday with Katie Briggs. Contracts with Rod every Wednesday 1:30. Every Thursday there's an accountability group in Frisco. Top of the Rockies has a movie night on March 31st, and that is going to be at 6 p.m. It's Project Hail Mary. I saw the movie. Who has seen this movie? Anyone? This is an awesome movie. It is really good. Best movie I've seen in a long time. Project Hail Mary, and that is at the Eclipse. Breakthrough 120. Breakthrough 120 is our productivity course. It's an all-new course. Everyone's invited. The goal of Productivity 120 is simple. The goal is to add 9 transactions to your pipeline in the next 90 days. So, no matter where you are, if you want 9 additional transactions, Breakthrough 120 is for you. We're starting it on April 6th. It's going to be an intensive for 5 days. And each morning is going to be 4 hours of content. We're going to talk about database. We're going to talk about open houses. We're going to talk about nailing the listing presentation, the buyer presentation. We're going to talk about social media and AI. You don't want to miss Breakthrough 120 starting on April 6th. Mountain Properties has a movie night at 6 p.m. at the Riverwalk Movie Theater on April 16th. Also, mark your calendars for our upcoming Red Day. More details coming soon. And that's September. That's May 14th. That's the second Thursday in May. And then we've got an AI class coming to the Altitude Board of Realtors in Silverthorne. That is with Lauren Lucas. Lauren Lucas is the kind of the top voice in our company right now for AI, and you don't want to miss AI in the Mountains with Lauren Lucas. This is not a class, it's a workshop. We're going to be giving you some apps to download that we'll be working on during the workshop. It's 10 to 1 on June 12th. Couple additional things. If you want to work on your presentation skills, April 8 and 9, we've got Train the Presenter with John and Holly Prescott. That's happening at DTC office in Denver. Also, we've got a luxury event coming to Denver. It's happening at the historic Evans School, April 23rd. It's $149. Brady Sandall is going to be leading it. It's a 1 to 4 class talking about 6 critical shifts that agents must make to stay on top in the luxury business. And then there's a happy hour afterward. Rocky Mountain Summit is coming up in September. We gifted you at Christmas time, at holiday time, a tool called RE Profit. RE Profit is kind of like QuickBooks for real estate professionals. Everyone has complimentary access to RE Profit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're not using it, or maybe you're scared to use a tool that will get you real clarity on your finances, you need to reach out to your team leader and get your access code for RE Profit. Also, BrokerBot is available to you. We are in a beta test right now because BrokerBot is now officially linked to Command in beta form. I'm part of the beta. Basically, BrokerBot is still working the way it has been working, and there's a prompt on the screen that Marielle's going to put in the chat for you to use. This prompt is designed to help you analyze Q1 and build a plan for Q2. Marielle will put it in the chat, and I'll also send it out after this meeting. What's coming next with BrokerBot is your ability to open BrokerBot when you meet somebody on the street and they become a client, or you want them to become a client. You'll be able to use BrokerBot to automatically set them up in Command, turn on smart plans, and set reminders for yourself so that when you get a lead on the fly, you don't lose the lead. Lots coming with BrokerBot. I'm excited about this. Charles is doing our chair chat today. He's our new regional tech trainer. And next week, we've got Debbie Nelson, who is a top non-KW agent in the Summit County area. She's going to be talking about lead gen in a shifting market. Erin Harrell is a top agent in Sarasota, Florida. She's going to be talking about organic marketing for luxury real estate. Scott Maloof is coming on the 13th of April. Scott's the guy that always wears the hat with the red underside. You see him at our events. Scott is a pro at putting events together, and he puts micro and macro events together to serve his clients. He's one of the top 20 agents at KW. You don't want to miss April 13th with Scott Maloof, and we've got a ton more that we're going to be announcing for these for the lift coming soon. Hey, I wanted to share something that you probably saw on Inman. There was an article published last week, right about the time that the lift was happening. In fact, I couldn't be here last week because I was on a call about this. It's about Zillow Preview. And if you've been following Gary Keller's op-eds in Inman, which are also being picked up elsewhere, and you can find them at kw.com, you know that Gary Keller believes that the idea of a private pocket listing, kind of the way that Compass is doing it, that may be the choice of a client. A seller may say, due to their high profile lifestyle, that they want their listing to not be broadcast in a wide manner. Am I making sense right now, Savannah? But Gary believes that the most effective way to sell a home is to get the widest audience possible. And we believe that there is a problem with the Compass pocket listing strategy because we believe that much of the public isn't really aware of the fact that that strategy is truly limiting the eyes that are looking at their listing. And that's where Zillow Preview comes. Zillow Preview is our answer to the what do you do before, in a coming soon status. Zillow Preview is an agreement that we have made with Zillow that says that if you desire, and it is fully optional, if you desire, you can put your coming soon listing on Zillow before it's fully active, and Zillow will place a link that allows the public who sees your coming soon listing to reach out to you directly as a listing agent. The reason that Keller decided to partner with Zillow is to follow Gary's idea that the more eyeballs, the better. And if your client for some reason desires to be in a coming soon place and they want Zillow eyeballs on the listing, you can now do that through Zillow Preview. It's coming out very shortly. It is 100% optional. The beauty of it is that Zillow will put you as the listing agent one click away from the client. In interest of full disclosure, Zillow will also have the ability for the client to find an agent that is a Zillow partner agent. If that person that clicks into your listing decides to buy a house, but they find Zillow through your listing, you're going to get a 10% commission straight from Zillow as a way of paying you for the marketing that you've done to create the lead. In other words, the Zillow agent who's paying 40% of their commission to be a Zillow agent 10% of it's going to go to you if your listing drew the lead. So Jason Abrams has an op-ed, or excuse me, an interview in Inman. I'm going to send it to everyone as a PDF because I know some of you don't have Inman subscriptions. Jason's comment about Zillow Preview is nobody should get upset by having more choices. I do want to make one comment about this. There's been a, social media frenzy about Keller Williams deciding to partner with Zillow. Because if you've been around KW for a while, you know that Gary had some challenges with Zillow for years. And he talked on stage about Zillow, and some of his words weren't all that favorable. Joan's nodding her head. And here's what I'll say. Welcome to 2026. What was true yesterday is not necessarily true today. And we believe that Zillow Preview is a great strategy for our agents to be able to have a conversation when you're asked at the listing table about the Compass strategy. This is our strategy, and the point is more eyeballs. Does Katie have something today, Marielle?
Yes.
Katie?
Hey, good morning. Our camera is, there we go. Hi. So today in coaching, we're going to talk about reducing our limiting beliefs. And there's 3 steps to doing that. The first step is labeling the belief, examining the truth, and then you're going to have to jump on the call to hear number 3. So join me and check it out. I would love to see everyone there. Thanks.
Katie, when is coaching today?
Today from 1 to 2, it's on this same Zoom link, the KWTOTR link. So anyone can hop on and check it out. And if you decide you want to join the program, then that's another conversation. Also, I do want to mention the broker buy. I'm part of the beta testing group. So if anyone has something they want me to test, then let me know.
Perfect. Thank you, Katie. All right, recognition. We've got some new listings. The Skinner team's got one in Fairplay on High Creek Road for $745. Monica Anderson has one in Fraser at $749. June's team has a $665 in Severance. In Vale, Andrew Gould has a $5 million listing in Eagle on Brooks Lane. Rod Fishkin, $1,075,000 in Eagle Vale. And Laura Lynn has a 2.2 in Avon. Check out those listings and let's celebrate our listing agents. Great job. All right, Charles. I'm excited that Charles is here. So Charles was announced yesterday as our new regional tech trainer. And you probably know Charles because he's been a team leader. Charles, how long have you been a team leader?
Since 2020.
Since 2020 in the Arvada Market Center. And Charles is continuing to develop his understanding of an appreciation for Gemini AI. And Charles is going to explain why Gemini is uniquely important for us at KW. Charles, take it away.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Russ. And hey, good morning, everyone. So Gemini is exciting. When we look at this, I think a lot of us, the household name that we think about is ChatGPT. And yet here's what's cool. With Gemini, you get this subscription at no added cost to your KW tech stack. All right. So as we look at this, you're all able to today go to Gemini.com. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to log in through your KW email. All right. So as we go through and we log into the KW email, what you're going to see is at this top right-hand corner, it does say Keller Williams, right? This is a business expansion. And so it's going to operate a little bit differently than what you see off of your ChatGPT. And I did pull up ChatGPT as well, just because I think this is, again, that household name that a lot of us are familiar with. And so today, just kind of want to showcase some of the different things that we have going on inside of Gemini and some of the things that we're able to do. All right, so didn't want to make this truly just a show and tell. I want to actually go through some different prompts. And with that being said, I did create a couple prompts for you guys to kind of run with and to play with as well, because again, we should be getting a feel for this, right? And so I'm going to share this real quick. This is kind of what we're going to look at, and I'll give everyone access to this as well. We'll put it in the chat. We'll give everyone, but these prompts. All right. These are what's going to make things simpler. All right. So as we're going through, I've created a couple prompts. Colorado real estate listing description generator. I don't know about you guys, but when I go through and try to create a listing description, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than I would like it to. And I've created this prompt that says, hey, I'm going to give you some random stuff, and I want you to put this into a listing description for me. Make sure we're not doing anything against fair housing. I also made sure that it understood that fair housing means some things that it might not understand, especially in our world, right? When we talk about a primary bedroom. So going through some of the other prompts that we can look at, seller listing description feedback email. I don't know about you guys, but I have gone through and I put together a listing description. And next thing I know, the seller's saying, yeah, but you didn't mention this. And so I think going in here, being able to have this prompt, this email that we're able to create, fire over to our seller and say, hey, just want to get some feedback. This is a partnership. We're going in, there's obviously, social media. Let's take that same listing and let's go through and create some different social media pieces. Guys, and here's what's neat about this. When you're creating these prompts and you're using these prompts over and over and over again, right? Just like as we talk about our database, to where we are going to consistently put information in and we're going to feed it and nurture it. Same thing with these AI models. When we're going through and we're using them over and over and over again, what it's going to do is going to learn our tonality. It's going to learn what we like it to do. And it's just going to make this thing stronger, right? We talk about this tech-enabled AI, right? When we're going through here and we want to be that agent that actually has this in our pocket. Open house social media. Okay, cool. So we just teased it. Now we're going through and we're saying, hey, we actually have the open house. And then a couple other things, your follow-up script. Hey, as we're doing these open houses, here's some of the things that we should be going through and we should be looking at to make sure that we didn't just sit on an open house for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of our life. Let's actually turn some of those leads into potential business in the future. And guys, on and on and on. I'll fire over these all these to you, but let's just play with this one real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shift gears back over and share my Gemini screen with you. And again, I will make sure that everyone gets a copy of this if you would like it. And so here we are. So all I'm going to do is, what you can't see right now is I'm just copying this entire prompt. And we're going to paste it. All right. So really everything I just showed you, here it is. You're an expert, whatever. So we are 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,500 square feet. Large backyard, right? We can just go on and on with this. Close to shopping. Right? We can just go through and just create however we want to do this. All right. So that's a pretty short piece of this, right? And so we go through and it looks like this. And it has created based off of very, very limited information. And so we can go through and we say, you know what, like this isn't the information. I can actually go through here and say, hey, you know what, it's actually, not main level that flows seamlessly into this well-appointed kitchen and living space, right? It's going to make some assumptions based off of the information that I put through. And so I can actually say, actually, right, when we go through and we can say that, let's go in, it says thoughtful interior design with excellent location, making a standout choice. This property represents balanced blend of comfort, but well appointed. Actually, make sure that they know the kitchen is high, and forgive my spelling, appliances and gas stove. Cool. So let's go through. Let's just see what it does. 1,500 square foot residence features 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, offering functional and well-proportioned layout. Guys, and it kind of goes through. I could even tell it as I'm going through and I'm changing these different things to say, hey, don't change anything except for this specific sentence, right? We can go through, we can play with some different info. All right, so there's the big one, right? Like we're going through and we're playing with this. Here's another one that I want to show you guys as we're going through here, your local real estate authority generator. All right. I'm going to pull this up on actually both because I do think that I probably have some users of ChatGPT. So let's go through, let's copy this. And I just want to show you guys what this looks like. All right, so for this, I'm actually telling Google Gemini to go do the hunting for me. All right, so I said, hey, you're the local real estate expert and content creator, right? I'm setting the stage so it knows its job. Your job is to find and summarize the top 3 most relevant news stories, starting in the agent city, then expanding outward to the Denver metro and Colorado, right? Because we are the local real estate economists of choice. It's going to try to focus on local development, housing market updates, infrastructure, major local events, anything that's going to impact. All right, cool. So let's do this. Let's call it Vail. All right, this is what's neat, guys. Remember, Gemini is owned by the largest search engine in the world, which is Google. All right. And what we have to understand
Charles,
is what, yes, sir.
Tell us more about why that, like how that is going to affect the output as compared to doing the exact same search in chat or the exact same prompt in chat.
Yeah. And so Russ was flying without a parachute there, hoping I knew the answer. So when we go through and we do this, guys, this is what's interesting. When we talk about what these AI models are doing, they're actually crawling the internet. All right. And so when we look at this and we think about the largest search engine in the world, which is Google, and who owns Google? Gemini. So all these other platforms, they're just allowed the front page. All right. And so what comes up on most of these front pages? They're ads, right? You're seeing all these other companies, they're spending money to be on the top of the page. Well, Gemini is owned by Google. So it has the free roam ability to go through and look at the other pages and to be able to find what's actually relevant for our searches. So what we're already seeing is a lot of these other platforms right now, they're actually going and they're partnering with Wikipedia. All right. So the other platforms are actually going in, they're partnering with Wikipedia. And as you guys know, Wikipedia is something that any of us can go in and change the information as we want. And there's a lot of these companies that are actually spending big money on Wikipedia to be able to pull their information off. And that's where it's going to be getting their info in the future, where Gemini is able to go across all of Google. And this is why this is important. So here's your story 1. I-70 West Vail Pass project enters final construction season. Cool, guys. So it goes through. There's your story. I asked it to give me the source. So if I wanted to fact check it, why does this matter? And guys, check this out. A 45-second video script. So what would this look like for all of us to be able to go through, pick up this thing, get into the Edits app, which is a Meta product, go in, Google this story, have it right where we screen share it. And now we're doing a talking head video. And here's my script, right? Here's what's happening right now in Vail. That's going to change your commute forever, right? 45 seconds, local real estate economists of choice. I'm not just pushing real estate. Who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? This is actually what impacts us here at home. So there's the first one. And then look, it gave me my social media caption plus my hashtags. Story 2, Timber Ridge Village nears completion for spring 2026 opening, right? Going through Town of Vail weekly construction update. And then story 3, Colorado housing market shifts towards a balanced rhythm in 2026 statewide. Guys, this is kind of cool, right? Because again, if you're like me and you're like, what kind of social media can I be pushing today to stay top of mind so I can take more market share? This is the tool to use. And again, no added cost. This is already part of your tech stack. You don't need to go out and buy the subscription for ChatGPT or Claude or anything from there. So there's one more that we can do. We go through, we can pull this in. And again, it has your hashtags. You have your social media caption already created, your 45-second script. Remember, your Edits app, if you don't want to go out and buy CapCut, if you don't want to go out and buy the Captions app, Edits is free. And so you can actually build off of that.
What's so here's Edits? Where do we find Edits?
Yeah, edits, guys, go into your Apple Play Store, your Google Play Store, and really what it looks like is there is the app. It's that red and one with the white line through it next to Pinterest. You go through, guys, you click on this thing, and what you have the ability to do is you have the ability to go through and truly just create. They have templates, they have everything already created, guys. The green screen's in there, the captions are in there. These talking head videos that we're seeing pop up all over right now to create that brand authority, to be the loudest voice in our ecosystems. Guys, you can do it all for free now. You don't have to go out and spend all the money on those apps. And guess what? The Meta CEO came out last month and says, if you use the Edits app, we're actually going to reward you and put your content up there higher. And so, guys, lean into this thing. Let's get on their native platform. Let's use it, and let's become the local real estate economist of choice. Cool. So let's look at this prompt. Here's housing data. All right. So we're going to go through, and here's your housing data prompt. And again, I'm going to send you guys all these if you don't want to create them. It says you're a real estate expert in Colorado who is great at explaining housing market data in a way that a fifth grader could understand. Your job is to take raw housing market data and break it down into simple, clear language. All right, cool. So check this out. What I did was, well, I just did do that. So I'm just going to pull it over. Makes it a little bit easier. Here's real estate news. Sellers outnumber buyers by a large margin in over a decade. Or how about this? Colorado real estate, Redfin. All right. So I know that's probably a naughty word. So let's go Redfin data. Cool. So guys, I can do one of two things. Redfin's already did all the work for me. What if I were to take this, copy it? Let's go back into Gemini again. We're going to take it. We're just going to paste the URL. I don't even want to read it. I don't want to copy and paste. I don't want to do anything. So here's our simple explanation. Right now, Colorado housing market is doing a great reset. Right? For a long time, there weren't many homes for sale and prices were going up super fast. Now things are calming. There are more homes to choose from. Inventory is about up 4%, and they are staying on the market longer, about 69 days on average. While prices in some spots are high, the overall frenzy has turned into a much steadier, slower pace. Guys, what this means for buyers, what this means for sellers, here's a quick analogy. Imagine you're at a bakery. And last year, there was only one tray of cookies and 10 kids wanted them, right? Like we can go through, we can have some fun with this. Also give me the video script, social media captions as well, and my hashtags. So let's say I just want to do like national. All right. So here's the national story. I don't want to put the prompt back in. I'm going to say, hey, do this one too. Guys, and there it is, right? So now we're going through, we're creating some content. And so we're able to go in here and you're able to do one of two different things. Maybe you're not a planner, right? You're like, hey, listen, I don't want to go through and I don't want to have to plan my social media content for the next week or the next month, but I am good at this. I am good at time blocking one day to actually do some content creation. Guys, let Skynet, let ChatGPT, let Google Gemini go out and do the work for you right now. All we have to know is some of the resources. I mean, the first one that we just did, right? We told it to go find the stories for us, but maybe we just know where to go to get some more information. And we can say, hey, crawl this website for me and pull out the information that's going to help me be the real estate economist of choice. I want to throw you guys one more because I think this one's fun as well. And this is what we have. So one of the things that Gemini is really good with is it's really good and fun to make photos and do some other stuff. So I said, hey, you are a real estate marketing and staging expert. Your job is to take this image of a home, whether it's interior or exterior, and redesign it with holiday themed decorations only. I'm going to tell you what the holiday is. You have to decipher what the image is. All right. It says don't change the structure of the home. Don't change the walls, the flooring, the layout, the permanent features. Don't add or remove furniture. You're only going to add or modify temporary decorations appropriate. I took it even further. I said, hey, you know what? I actually want 4 different versions. And each version should have a slightly different style, right? Subtle, warm, bold, and clean. All right. So I wanted it to go through. And so let's go in. Let's just grab a house. And so I just Googled interior of a home in Vail. And so I'm sure there's some copyright stuff here, so no one tell on me. All right, so you can see it drops the image up top. And then what's the holiday? You know what? Just for fun, let's call it. Now, you know what? Cinco de Mayo. Let's see what happens. I'm interested now. So we're flying without a parachute because, guys, here's the thing. I think as we're going through and we're doing these different things with the AI, sometimes it does have a mind of its own. And so I'm not sure what it's really going to pull out of this thing. My hope and my intention that it is going to keep the photo the same way that it is. And I think that as a learning curve, as we're going through and we are trying to have that tech-enabled piece inside of our business, we just have to understand when do we need to keep pushing through the wall and when our prompt isn't going to work so that we need to back away from it. All right. So it says, hey, it's completed the transformation. There's the photo. And it failed. All right. So as we look at this thing, it says, I've determined the image is of an interior. It says this approach. Awesome. Let's see what it does. Now, actually design the room for this. And this is just one of those things, like sometimes we're actually going to have to go through and push through it and just see like, okay, well, was my prompt wrong? It says it's actually creating the images now. And it would be super sad if this is how we ended the call with me putting in a prompt that didn't work, but so is tech.
We believe in you, Charles.
All right, there we go.
Oh,
Here's
wow.
one. And guys, you can see that it didn't necessarily do what I wanted it to do, but this is what's neat about this. Guys, you can go through and you can fully stage a house right now. You can say, this is the type of furniture I want in this home. Don't move it. And guys, you can go stage it. You can do the holidays. What I've actually seen is agents go through and they've taken these photos, maybe of the exterior. Hey, which decoration is your favorite for my brand new listing that's coming up? Hey, would you put this type of furniture or this type of furniture in this house? Come check it out in person. Send me a DM, right? We can actually take the stuff that we're already doing, put it through this model. And what we're able to do is just create more excitement out of it, right? Put some bats in there if it's Halloween, stage it for Christmas, 4th of July, insert whatever here. Like we're able to actually go through. And guys, this thing is getting smarter and smarter as we go. But with that, everyone, I know that there's a handful of minutes left, and I don't know when Russ wants me off this thing, but does anyone have any comments, questions?
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So those prompts you were showing us earlier.
Yeah.
I know in chat, if you're using a prompt over and over again, you might create like a custom GPT that, allows you to not have to keep cutting and pasting the same prompt. You can just build it and then you just put the, description of the property in it and it automatically does it. Does this work the same way?
Yeah, this is going to work just a little bit different. I mean, my suggestion for this one, because of it being on this Keller Williams plan, what I would actually do is I would just house this in your Google Drive, right? Again, because it's part of your tech stack. And I would house it and I would just put it in because I think this is what you're going to see with Gemini. is that Gemini, as we're playing with this a little bit more and more, it is going to get a little bit lost on some things. And so if you're running into a wall, in my experience, it has been to abandon that chat, start a new chat, and put the same information in, and you're going to get a different outcome. And so that's how I would do this. I wouldn't actually do your AI agent, if you will, to actually live it in there and to keep having the same prompt. Yes, I agree. ChatGPT, Claude AI, those work very, very well. This is just a little bit different of a model.
Got it. Anyone else have questions for Charles? Marla asked about crediting the source of a photo, I guess. And I think the answer is yes. You want to make sure you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You always want to make sure that we're crediting the photo. I mean, like this, we just stole it off the internet. I think with the intent of what we're kind of doing, what we're kind of playing with everyone, is that you're going to go in and this is your listing. This is the listing that you're hosting an open house for somebody else in the brokerage, right? We're doing these different things to where we already have some permission to go out and do that, right? It's already in our exclusive right to be able to market these properties. And yes, if we're going to go steal something off the internet, I'd be very, very cautious of how we play. But at the same time, this could create it. I mean, if I were to say, awesome, create a home that looks like it's in Vail and same decor. Right. Like it will go through and it will build something. And again, flying without a parachute, who knows what this thing's going to do, but what other questions as we're waiting for this thing?
Anyone else have questions for Charles? Charles, we yeah,
I like the tequila in the back, right? Instead of like live, laugh, love, it's like tequila.
I like the succulents juxtaposed against the snow. Charles, because kw.com is housed by Google, and most of us are using the Gmail, the calendar, the Drive. You're introducing Gemini, which is the integrated AI tool. I'm wondering if are there things that we should be using Gemini with for our emails or for our Google calendars or for our Google Drives? Are there integrations we should know about?
Yeah, guys, check this out. Guys, this is part of the Google Workplace. And so if you're already going through and you are utilizing your KW emails, which you should be, right? As we go through and we look at this, it connects to your Gmail. It connects to Google Chat. It connects to Google Drive, Google Tasks, your calendar, Google Docs, Google Keep. So let's just say this. Let's just say that you're a huge Jason Abrams fan, which you should be, and that you're listening to the MREA podcast and you're getting the one-pagers that are coming through. Let's just say that we're taking all those and maybe we're uploading them into a Google Drive, right? Because we have some of the smartest bookshelves in the industry, right? And we're like, I'm going to utilize this later. Well, I can actually go through on Google Gemini. I can actually point to the Google Drive and I can say, hey, go find 5 one-pagers in this Drive file and give me 10 actionable steps that I can do this month to secure 4 pieces of business. And it will crawl that data, it will pull it out, and it will give you what you should be doing today, this week. And then you can say, you know what, look at my calendar and find the best times for me to actually go through and do this. And everyone, this is all encompassing. Like it's just going to pull the information and it is going to give you a structured plan.
Yeah.
And no cost.
I assume that Gemini can also like for me, I'm constantly looking for that email that I sent in 2018 about such and such topic. Can Gemini be used to crawl my emails and find that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Like this is the thing, everyone. Like when we're going through and we're talking about the tech stack that we have inside of our ecosystem, which is KW, and we're using the products that KW is giving us, there's a reason why KW believes in this product. And so as we're going through, if we're using the Gmail account, we're using the Google Calendar, we're going through, we're utilizing the Google Drive, which is huge. And then we're utilizing this new tool that is becoming more and more prevalent in our industry. And we're saying, yes, go find all the emails that Russ has sent to me over the last X amount of days. It will pull them through and say, hey, Russ mentioned this in an email. Tell me what email it is. Absolutely. It will go through and it will find that email. But again, you have to be using your KW email accounts. So I don't know if the brokerage house is sending those all to the KW only emails, but this is a great tool for that.
Yeah. All right. Any last question for Charles? Charles, this was super helpful for me.
Awesome.
Anyone else? All right. We appreciate you being here today, Charles.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Hey, if you want to get that last tip from Katie today at 1 o'clock, all you got to do to get logged into productivity coaching is go to kwsummitzoom.com and the password is KWTOTR, or email our MCA Marielle. And we'll see you March 31st. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.